Welcome to class 7 students. Today I'm going to start a new chapter of your second unit test syllabus, which is nervous system in humans. Okay, so you have learned about nervous system in your previous classes, or you know what nervous system is. So we are going to learn a bit more about this nervous system in humans. Okay, so first, before going into the details of the chapter, you will have to learn few terms. Okay, so the first term is stimuli. What is stimuli? You will find the answer in your book, page number 89, key points. First bullet. Any sudden change in the environment of an organism which causes a reaction in that organism is known as stimulus. So suppose there is any change in the outside, means our surrounding, which is causing any change in us, that is known as stimulus. That change in the surrounding, means our surrounding environment, that is known as stimulus. So let me give you an example. If the outside environment, it means your surrounding environment is very hot, suppose about 50 degrees Celsius, then you start feeling very hot, right? And then you start to sweat if it is very humid as well. So the high temperature in the environment, means the high temperature of 50 degrees Celsius, is the stimulus which is causing a response. Another term, response means the action that is taken in answer to the stimuli. Okay, so here in this case of high temperature of 50 degrees Celsius, which is the stimulus or the stimuli, it causes the response of you feeling hot or you sweating a lot. Okay, I will give you another example. Suppose you are walking down a dark road and there is no light anywhere at all, and suddenly a car starts coming from the opposite direction that you are walking towards, and the headlights of the car fall on your eyes. So what will you do? You will instantly close your eyes. So here the stimulus is the light from the car, and the response to this stimulus of the light of the car is your shutting close of the eyes. Okay, so I hope the stimulus and response part is clear to you all. Okay, next, coming to what is nervous system. The nervous system, the third paragraph of this page. The nervous system is an organized network of billions of specialized cells called neuron. Next term, neuron. What are neuron? The structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Just like cells are the structural and functional unit of every living organism, neurons are the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Okay, so the nervous system, which is present everywhere within the living body, it is an organized network of billions of specialized cells. Specialized cells means these cells are only specialized to perform the functions of transmitting the messages. I will talk about more how neurons work, what neurons do. So they are specialized for this purpose only. A neuron is a specialized cell for receiving messages from one part of the body and conducting them to the other part. So they basically receive. So here, that second example that I gave, the headlights from the car falls on your eyes. So the eyes receive the message that there is a very strong light falling on the eyes, and then the messages from the nerves of the eye will be taken to the brain or the spinal cord, and then the brain or the spinal cord will give back a response message to the eyes or any organ which is doing the response, which is performing the response action, to respond accordingly. Okay, so this is how the neurons work, the basic idea. Now let's talk about the structure of neuron. Before going into that, let me tell you, stimulus is of two types. You will find it in the did you know. Stimulus is of two types. One is the internal and the other one is the external. So what is the internal stimuli? See, there are two types of stimuli that affect the body, external stimulus and internal stimulus. First, they're talking about the external stimuli are changes to conditions outside the body. For example, your body's response to changes in light and temperature and to danger. So I have given you the change in temperature and light. Okay. Internal stimuli are changes to conditions inside the body. For example, you feel thirsty or hungry when your body needs water or food respectively. So when we are thirsty, that means our body needs water. So that need of water by the body is an internal stimulus. The change is taking place within our body and we are feeling the need for the water. And what is our response to that stimuli? Our response will be to drink water or food according to our need. Okay, now moving on with the structure of neuron. So the picture that you can see here is the diagram of a neuron. Okay, so each neuron consists of three main parts: the cell body or the cyton. As you can see here, the it is marked as the cell body. So which one is the cell body? This whole part is the cell body, which contains a nucleus. Okay. Many short fibers come out or arise from the cell body, which are known as dendrons or dendrites. Means basically the larger ones are the dendrons, these main ones are the dendrons, but as you can see that from these ones many short branches also arise. Those are known as dendrites. The function of the dendrite is to receive messages from the previous neurons. Okay, and apart from the dendrite, the opposite end of the cell body, means so on one opposite end of the cell body there is a long, very long axon. What is the axon? This is a unbranched long fiber, single long fiber which extends from the other side of the cyton or the cell body, and the axon carries the message from the cell body of one neuron to another. So basically the dendrites receive messages from the previous neuron like this. Okay, and these messages then go via the cell body through the axon, and then through these axon terminals they go out and get into the next neuron. Okay, so messages along the neuron travel in the form of a wave of chemical disturbance which is known as impulse. Okay, so these messages, as I told you, that they are traveling through the cell body, through the axon, and then through the axon terminals. Terminal means the end part. So through these axon terminals into the next neuron. So these are basically known as impulse. Okay, so let's see what else is there. Let's clear this up. Okay, and the axon, as you can see that this is the whole axon, right? And then there is a covering along the axon which is discontinuous. This covering, this blue covering, and then there is a gap, again a covering gap like this. So these coverings are known as myelin sheath, and then there is these gaps which are known as node of Ranvier. These gaps help in faster travel of the faster transmission of the impulse, so that they can go to the next neuron much faster. Okay, and this covering or a sheath of the axon is known as myelin sheath. Now a neuron receives messages from one part of the body and conducts them to other parts to initiate a response. I have already talked about stimulus and response previously. The neurons are not in direct contact or touch each other. Okay, so I have already shown you the picture in the online class, that suppose this is one neuron 1. Okay, and then there is a gap, then there is neuron 2. So these neuron 1 and neuron 2 are not in direct contact, or they do not touch each other, and this gap is known as synapse. This gap between two adjacent neurons is known as synapse. This synapse is basically a junction where communication between two neurons occur. What kind of communication? This transfer of impulse from the previous neuron to the next neuron. Okay, so this is all about the structure of neuron. I will continue with the types of neuron and the rest of the portion of this chapter in the next video. Okay, thank you.